2022年2月10日，美国队员陈蔚在北京冬奥会个人花样滑冰比赛中脱颖而出，获得了金牌。在人们为陈蔚站上花滑的最高领奖台而高兴时，不免也为陈蔚的队友周知方感到遗憾。周知方以出色的表现为美国队赢得本届冬奥花滑男子团体银牌立下汗马功劳，被认为拥有冲击个人单项奖牌的竞争力。然而，突如其来的新冠检测阳性导致他退出比赛，梦碎冬奥。本期的新闻追击，我们采访到了周知方的教练和朋友。下面让我们一起来了解周知方感染新冠的前后情况，以及退赛的心路历程。
I have tested positive for COVID-19, and unfortunately, I will have to withdraw from the individual event starting tomorrow.
周知方1月27日从美国洛杉矶出发，前往北京奥运村。2月6日，在男子花滑团体比赛中，单杠自由滑的周知方在一曲《卧虎藏龙》的背景音乐中展现了他的不凡实力。然而，就在第二天2月7日，当美国队获得男子花滑团体银牌登上领奖台时，人们惊奇地发现，队员中唯独不见了周知方的身影。原来他因当天的例行新冠检测结果是阳性，而不得不缺席颁奖典礼。而当他的复检结果再次出现阳性时，他宣布退出第二天将要开始的个人单项比赛。无法参加备战和期盼已久的奥运比赛，对任何辛苦训练了几年的运动员及其教练、家人来说，无疑都是巨大的打击。
When the first positive test result came back and I was notified, I was almost certain it had to be a false positive, right? At that point, Vincent had no symptoms. He was asymptomatic. So, when the second test did confirm that he indeed had too high of a viral load to participate, it was shocking. It felt like everything just stopped, right? And like your arm gets chopped off all of the sudden. It's so hard to describe the shock and the sadness that comes with that. I know I cried a lot, and I know you can tell from Vincent's post that he shed some tears too. It's, whether it's the coach or the athlete or his family members or anybody else that's on his team, we all were helping him trying to work towards this moment. So when it doesn't happen, and it doesn't happen because of COVID, right? It's so hard to just wrap your mind around that and the reality of that. I know for several days I kept saying, I can't believe this. Like, it's so hard to believe.
周知方因为感染新冠而不得不退出奥运会的消息，在美国主流媒体和社媒迅速传播，让人们震惊和惋惜。据北京冬奥会官方网站的统计，从1月23日到2月15日，闭环内共有183名运动员和随从官员感染新冠。根据北京2022年冬奥会和冬残奥会其他利益相关方防疫手册第1版，复检结果为阳性的运动员需要进入隔离，相关人员将无法继续比赛或工作。媒体广泛报道，北京冬奥村采取闭环管理，防疫措施严格。那么周知方会是在什么情况下感染到新冠的？据周知方和他的教练披露，周知方在训练和生活中都进行了非常充分的个人防护。
He's vaccinated and also boosted, has really been isolating himself for many months. I mean, his dedication to his training and to protecting himself and others from the virus and giving himself the best chance of competing in Beijing has just been absolutely stellar. And he practices with 2 masks on every day. Even on the ice when he runs his program, he wears a mask. You saw some similar strategies from Nathan Chen, who also wore the mask at practice. I really can't think of anything that would have put him at risk.
On many levels, Vincent, in addition to double masking for maybe the last 4 or 5 months, he was also eating in a very protective way, like mask, take a bite, put the mask back on. Even when I observed him snacking in between sessions, when he was in Colorado Springs, like everything he was doing was to prevent this, right? And so there was no stone left unturned in terms of how he traveled to Beijing. He had a face shield on, right? All the things that you can think of. So then your mind just goes to, how does this happen and why did this stop?
I have been doing everything in my power to stay free of COVID since the start of the pandemic. I've taken all the precautions I can. I've isolated myself so much that the loneliness I felt in the last month or two has been crushing at times.
北京奥运村的防疫究竟严格到什么程度？陪伴周知方抵达北京的教练扎克拉塞克向我们讲述了他的看法。
Certainly, we all felt like there were a lot of precautions, and you could tell as you moved around from the airport to the venues, and whether that's the Village or like in my hotel, the Westin, I was staying at the Beijing Westin. And as we were on transportation, you could tell there was a lot of thought and thoughtfulness and procedures in place to, mitigate and limit any type of COVID infection. So, but, just like in life, nothing is perfect, right? So nothing is 100%. So I definitely felt like they were doing as much as possible and maybe even more than what you might expect. That was my impression.
看来无论是周知方的自我防护还是奥运村的防疫措施都是严密充分的，这也使得周知方的新冠阳性结果更让人感到费解。
I don't think that's possible because he competed in the team event, and I don't understand from when he competed in the team event to 2 days later, I don't understand how he could test positive after competing a wonderful program in the team event.
There's no way to speculate how he contracted COVID. It's almost impossible, right? It's a stealth virus. And, everybody that I've talked to has just said it's bad luck. Obviously, there was virus someplace in the closed loop, and Vincent probably brushed contact with that virus at some point.
值得欣慰的是，这次美国花样滑冰队其他队员没有感染新冠，这也说明了周知方对自己的防疫保护，也间接保护了他的队友。
Because at least at this point, there haven't been any other positive cases from people that he has been in contact with. So we're very thankful for that. And I'm very proud of Vincent for how serious he's taken his responsibility as an athlete, but also a human to keep everybody safe.
本届冬奥会，周知方被媒体和专业人士看好，具备冲击花滑单人项目奖牌的潜力和竞争力。他的教练透露，未能在这次冬奥会上拿出最佳水平，周知方和他的团队几年来全力以赴，经历了艰苦的备战。本来大家对周知方的实力是充满信心的。
I calculated for Vincent a rough estimate of over 1,600 hours of preparation since May 1st of 2021. He's put in on and off the ice.
Vincent has had a very thorough, calculated strategy and plan to deliver a best performance at the Olympics for really many years. I think beyond that, he really felt, and we really felt like he was a strong contender for a podium finish. He demonstrated on the Grand Prix this year that he's able to beat people who ended up on the podium. Both Shoma Uno and Nathan Chen were at Skate America, where he finished ahead of them. And I think when Vincent is at his best, he is certainly someone who is in that top 3 in the world.
We knew he would be in contention for a medal based on his trajectory, but it's hard to say, how he could have done. He wasn't given that chance, but we were hopeful, and that's certainly what we were working toward.
I've coached many athletes, many who have been to the Olympics before, many who are there at this Olympics as well. And I've never seen an athlete work harder or more focused than Vincent Zhou. The discipline and the detail and unrelenting effort that he exhibits on a daily basis is just nothing short of inspiring. And that's why I'm so crushed for him that he didn't get the chance to show that work.
周知方的遭遇对于他个人职业生涯带来的遗憾是令人惋惜的，对于美国队也是一个损失。但周知方对这一事件冷静成熟的处理方式和积极的心态，也鼓舞了许多观众和支持他的人。
I will be back stronger then. I will be back better then. This is not the end. This is a setup for a bigger comeback.
Everybody here in the Bay Area, California, our hearts go out to Vincent, and I hope he knows we're all supporting him.
To see somebody like Vincent go through this and to weather it and to exhibit poise and grace and courage, I think that is so important. The world needs those examples, and I'm really proud of the one he has set.
So many people have reached out to me personally, but even the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee and US Figure Skating, they've provided tremendous support, I know, to Vincent, but also to me. And so I'm sure they're supporting everybody else on his team and his family too. And I just want to say how grateful I am. I can't say enough how much that support is important and it's appreciated. So thank you to everyone who's been supporting Team Vincent.
一个运动员为了在台上几分钟的时间，背后付出的是数不尽的汗水和反复的伤痛，甚至还有痛苦的泪水。然而不可控因素导致运动员失去了比赛资格，前功尽弃，实在是令人扼腕叹息。我们无法知道在防疫措施严格的奥运村，自我防范手段如此谨慎严密的周知方究竟是如何感染到了新冠。但我们希望周知方能突破这次的困境，未来以更优秀的姿态重返比赛舞台，实现他的梦想。观众朋友们，您如何看待周知方退赛事件？欢迎您在视频下方留言发表您的看法。谢谢您，我们下次再见。